The new Lloydminster Nissan is now in our temporary location. Find us in the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West and shop indoors in comfort all winter long. Walk through over 100 new and pre-owned vehicles under one big roof. And right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, you get free tires for life with your new or pre-owned purchase. Sales, parts, and service all in the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West. The new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome to the Lloydminster exhibition and the new Lloydminster Nissan Exhibition Grill. I am excited to be here again today to talk about local talent and the Vic Juba Theatre. So we'll get to that in just a moment, but I do want to remind you about the new Lloydminster Nissan and the biggest, the longest, and the best indoor sale in the history of the border city. Right now we have moved to a temporary location on Highway 16 West. It's a big blue building that used to house RVs, and there is a lot of room for a lot of vehicles. In fact, there's over 100 pre-owned and new vehicles under the roof on Highway 16 West. So stop in and see us today. And right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, you get free tires for life with your purchase. And if you're looking for a Rogue, we have a great selection of Rogues. And right now, $2,000 off of those fantastic Rogues. See us today at the biggest, the longest, and the best indoor sale in the history of the border city at the new Lloydminster Nissan. As I mentioned, we're going to talk local talent. Well, Carolyn Parke is here. Amanda Cooper was scheduled to join us, but is sick today, so she's going to miss. Gwen Mottram is here from the Vic Juba Community Theatre, and they're our guests today to talk about the Lloyd Local Series. And Caroline and Amanda will be performing on March 27th. And Gwen is here to tell us about why this series is happening and how it's important to promote local talent and give local artists a chance to get on a fantastic stage where you just can't get any better sound. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. We're also excited to announce a new contest. We are teaming up with two great local businesses for an opportunity for you to tell your love story right here on Live with Kurt Price. Check it out on our Facebook page and enter yourself or enter someone that you know who has a great love story. 3 local couples will tell their love story by appearing as a guest on Live with Kurt Price this February. And Heather Clagus has actually agreed to be my co-host, so there'll be 2 of us to kind of get your love story out of you. But not only will you get to tell us your love story, but guests will also receive a $100 gift certificate to Spiro's to enjoy a night out together. And we want to thank Richardson's Jewelry and Spiro's for helping us out with Love Story, which again ties into the Valentine's Day theme, which is the beginning of February. And we could also keep it going, I guess, with Family Day and talk about families as well. But it is something that we've been looking forward to for a while now. And the nominations are coming in fast and furious. Keep them coming in. And we'll be talking to someone and some couples here in February. Superior Water is proud to provide you with the purest drinking water possible. I drink it because I like taste, and I believe it is superior to anyone else's water. I think it's the best water in Lloydminster, and at just $3 a jug, you get a consistent taste. And don't forget, ice for that Crown Royal is just $2 a bag. 2 locations in Lloydminster, right beside Sheepskin Lofts on 57th Avenue. And if you need help with those big blue jugs, you won't have to ask for it. They're always Johnny on the spot to help you with that. Or you can visit their coin-operated location just off Highway 17 South, right beside 7-Eleven. At Superior Water, water is what they do, and they do it well. We're going to take a moment to check in with what was happening yesterday and what continues to happen in Saskatchewan. No word yet this morning on what is going to happen with ongoing job action with the STF in Saskatchewan. But I was able to catch up with Derek Armstrong, who's the president of the Lloydminster Teachers Association here in Lloydminster, was on that picket line yesterday, and we caught up with him at Border Inn and Suites. And one of the questions that I asked him was, what's next in this ongoing dispute? But here's our chat with Mr. Armstrong. I've got Derek Armstrong with me. He is the president of the Lloydminster Teachers Association. And Derek, it wasn't too long ago that we were doing this. Again, what has changed since the last strike?
So the amount of public support has changed. We are seeing tons of community members, parents, students reaching out, sending things over for teachers, helping them keep warm, coming on by, driving by with signs, and we are seeing that the public is behind us.
As far as at the bargaining table, has anything changed?
We have heard from the government that they are not willing to come back at this point because they're stuck on one issue, and that issue is salary. This is a bargaining process that they are not participating in good faith. They are making it all about one proposal, the salary proposal, and they're doing that to try to divide the membership, try to buy teachers off. And at this point in the game, teachers are not going to be bought off because it's not about salary. This is about consistent, ongoing funding for our students so that the system is restored to levels that we saw over a decade ago, and where we have the supports in place and the funding in place in the long term to meet the needs of students.
One of the things that you and I talked about last time I was here was complexity. And we're hearing from the Saskatchewan government that complexity is not a teacher's issue. It is an issue for all levels, for the parents, for the board, for the ETAs. It's a larger issue than just for the teachers, and so they want everybody at the table. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yeah. Complexity is exactly what the word says. It's complex. This is classrooms that look very different today than they did when we went to school. Mental health challenges, student need challenges, learning challenges, and without the proper supports in place, we can't meet all those needs. When you take a system that went from number 1 in funding in Canada to number 8, we've seen over $2,500 decrease in per student funding in this province in the last 10 years. That's hard to just come back from.
Is it fair to bring complexity to the table then, if everybody needs to be involved?
Absolutely. The government continues to ignore the realities of class size and complexity, saying that it is a local issue. However, the same government is who stripped away the ability for local boards to control education funding at a local level. When they remove the right of a local board to amend the mill rate for education, they took away the funding power, yet they want us to come up with the solutions. So if they want solutions, they need to be able to join parents, join boards, join teachers in helping fund those solutions.
I've heard the government say that capita-wise, they spend more money on education than any other province.
Well, they're not always honest, so there's the start. But the government in Saskatchewan has added additional budget lines to the overall education budget over the last number of years. For example, they added libraries to the education budget, so it inflates that overall number, but the amount that's actually going to schools is not increasing. They added childcare grants into that number. So they're adding things to education. They have spent money on infrastructure spending, but shiny new buildings don't solve the problem. They don't help kids learn. They don't solve the challenges and the complexities that we're seeing. And infrastructure spending is important. It has to happen anyways. So saying that they're at an all-time rate of spending, absolutely. Population's always growing. You're always going to be spending more money, but it's not meeting the needs. It's not meeting the realities that we're seeing.
Derek, what can be done other than these strikes that we've seen? What tools do the teachers have that you can bring forward other than work stoppage?
So the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation has several sanctions at their disposal that don't include full-on strike or work stoppage, possibly withdrawal of voluntary services, and we know how important those extracurricular pieces are to the community. Teachers do a ton of work with students in and outside of classrooms, and contribute greatly to the overall success of schools and school communities. So there is the ability to withdraw or restrict those, but we feel that at this point in the game, enough is enough, and we need to let the government know that we're serious, and time is important here. This system has eroded for a decade, and we can't really continue on at the same levels of funding. So there needs to be immediate change. They need to reverse the cuts that they've been making, and they need to get us back to somewhere that's more manageable.
You mentioned that the public has come on your side, and a large majority of them certainly have done that. What can tell us about Tell Them Tuesday? That's a big thing for you guys as well.
Yeah, Tell Them Tuesday is a STF campaign to allow the public easy access to be able to communicate with MLAs, communicate with Premier Moe. We're not asking the public to go after school boards or school divisions. That's not the target, because those people are doing exactly what they should be doing with the funds that they're given. What we are asking is for people to go to the government, send them an email, send them a message, write them a letter, give them a phone call, and ask them to get back to the table and be serious about funding the solutions for our children.
Last time that I was here, I asked you, can you see yourself being back here again? You said, yeah, you could. Can you see yourself being back here in maybe even less than a week?
I think it's possible. We need to hear from government that they're willing to invest in what we need them to invest in, and that's our children. And we need them to actually come back to the table and participate in dialogue.
I just want to ask one more thing about complexity, because this has really surfaced in the last little while here, and that's the ability for teachers to hold students back a year. Do you see this as the largest contributor to what we're calling complexity? Is we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so we want to move them along. I've read articles on this. I've heard other talk shows talk about it. Do you see it as the biggest?
I wouldn't say the largest contributor, but it definitely is a factor. You put it, even the pandemic, in on things when the learning gap grew significantly. You don't fund a system that allows students to bounce back or recover from that. The gaps are going to continue to grow. And yes, we kind of operate in a system right now where students move from grade to grade predominantly. That further challenges the ability for students to get caught up.
Is that an issue for the teachers? Is that something the teachers are looking at and saying, that's what we need? We need to be able to hold kids back.
It is an issue at times. It's more so a ministry-driven problem, because the moment you start holding students back, you have to educate them extra years, and so that becomes expensive, and that's definitely not their preference. Spend more money.
I feel like this is a big issue. Like, you and I could have a whole conversation about this. So I really thank you for taking that question. Is there anything else you want people to know about what's happening with the rotating strikes and, as you say, with the government not wanting to bargain?
I think it's important for people. We appreciate the support that we've got from the community. We appreciate everyone's understanding as we unfortunately have to take these steps. But we want people to know that to trust us, that we are here with your children, with your grandchildren's interests at heart, and we are fighting this fight for them. Teachers are not being paid. They weren't paid last Tuesday. They won't be paid today. They won't be paid in the future on any strike days. So we are doing this for the kids, and we're all in it to win it for them.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kurt.
Our thank you to Derek Armstrong for joining us today. We'll take this short break, and then we'll be back, and we're going to tell you about a few more things happening in Lloydminster, and then we're going to talk to Gwen and Caroline in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Ben Harrison. I'm a librarian at Lakeland College and chair of the Downtown Area Redevelopment Committee. My desire is to help Lloydminster to be a prosperous community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. That is why I am running for City Council in the February 13th by-election. To find out more about what I stand for, please visit benharrisonforcitycouncil.com.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
Well, I want to thank the Lloydminster and District Fish and Game Association for having us out at their gun and outdoor sportsman show on the weekend. We had a blast, and it was incredibly busy, and they had double the tables that they had last year, so it was a really, really good turnout. And with the Lloydminster District Fish and Game Association, they have their Family, Wildlife, and Awards Banquet coming up on Saturday night, and that's where they'll be making the draw for the door prize from this weekend's very busy gun and outdoor sportsman show. And the Gun and Outdoor Sportsman Show, Janelle Misko and Dwayne Davidson with the Lloydminster Fish and Game Association, they told us that the Wildlife Banquet is just a really fun, light evening with entertainment and fantastic food. So we hope that you'll join us at the banquet when myself and Heather Klages host it this Saturday night. Today is the deadline for tickets, 780-808-6420, or stop in at Wildside Outdoors. Another Chase the Ace draw will take place here at the Lloydminster Exhibition tomorrow night, 7:30, and the jackpot will likely reach over $80,000. What a difference maker that could be in someone's life. You can get tickets in person here at the Lloyd X, and they start at just $10 each. Go to lloydx.com for all the details, including how you can e-transfer. Well, we have Carolyn Parke here joining us, a local songwriter, musician, and she was hoping to be joined by Amanda Koopa, who she will be performing with on March 27th as part of the Lloyd Local Series. Gwen Mottram is with the Lloydminster Vic Juba Theatre Foundation, and she joins us. They are sponsoring the Lloyd Local Series, so there'll be a series of concerts, 3 of them, I believe.
Three performances.
3 performances. And the first one, as we mentioned, March 27th, will feature Caroline and Amanda. And once again, Amanda sends her regrets that she got sick. I think we've all been sick at some point this winter.
Yeah, it's allowed.
Some of us a couple of times. Yeah. So I totally understand. But Caroline, what does it mean to, what did you think when you got the call you're going to be performing at the Vic?
Well, I think I freaked out a little bit inside, and I was very excited, and now I'm kind of more nervous. I looked up the seating capacity, stuff like that, and I was like, whew, okay. Yeah, I'm very excited to hear the sound system. You know, you're only as good as your sound. And
it's a new sound system,
is it?
too. Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been to a handful of events there, and I'm really excited. Yeah.
It sounds beautiful in there.
Is that when was the new sound system?
It was just installed in November, I think it was. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So some of us wouldn't have even been out yet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Probably the first concert with it would have been Jake Bodland and the Sturgeon River Boys.
That was just
past
weekend,
past
right?
week. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first one with the.
It was one of the first ones. There might have been one more before that. So, yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Why is it important to showcase local talent? That's the big question.
Well, because local should support local, and local artists are fantastic, right? So why should we be supporting them? I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm really excited by it.
How did you guys come up with this idea?
Oh, okay. So a donor for the foundation approached us and saw this opportunity, and the donor was involved with the building of the theater over 20 years ago, and when we built the theater, it was for locals to perform on the stage, and we have been really quite successful at presenting youth on the stage, but not performing artists. So there was this opportunity for us, and that's how it came about.
Okay. How do you decide who performs?
Well, artists have to apply. So there's a process that they have to go through. They have to present their history in performing. They have to tell us what they want to perform and how they're going to promote the show. So it's a committee that makes the decision. And Carolyn and Amanda submitted separately. And we saw this as a good opportunity to pair them up.
Which is really funny because that's how I met Amanda. Was doing markets in Kids Scotty, and we were back to back. So, yeah, great minds think alike, I guess. Yeah, that's how I met her. I was just observing her as I was packing up my stuff, and I thought, wow, is she good? So I hung around and I took some pictures and videos and sent them to her to use for her social media promotion. And yeah, we've kind of been good contacts anyhow. I haven't been able to play with her on stage because the only event that I could do in Lloydminster would be in the evening, and I have kids, and I don't like to go out too much after dark. So
It's a long drive home for you.
it
too.
is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. When you saw the application and how it works, were you a little nervous about, I got to promote, I got to sell the tickets?
You know what? Actually, I was nervous to say, putting together my application, but then as you went through the questions and answered the questions, that was probably the part I liked the best, because it was like, yeah, you need to take ownership of your own career, and we're not going to just put everything on a silver platter for you. So what are you going to do to shoulder some of this burden? And it was 10 minutes. I was like, okay, I have 6 things I can utilize, and I'm going to do that. So no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed you contacted me right away.
I did.
Yeah.
I had
Which I appreciate.
5 different newspapers, and 2 of them got back to me the same day, so that was really encouraging. And I'm going to put a couple online media like Facebook advertisements and stuff. That seems to work pretty good for my song circle that I do. So, $5 for the week, and you reach your geographical area, or 10,
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty simple stuff.
Okay, we'll talk more about Song Circle as well.
Yeah.
Gwen, how many, are applications closed, or do they?
No, we still have one spot that we're trying to fill, and that's the June 20th date. It's on a Thursday. And then we are going to continue into the fall, so there'll be opportunities there as well.
Okay, but there's 3 scheduled right now?
Three that are going to be in the first series.
So what is the stipulation? How long do you have to, how long will they get on stage?
So the typical show runs 7:30 to 9:30. So
Okay. And how do you apply?
you apply online. So the application is on the theater's website under the info tab, and you just fill it out and submit it by email.
So being that Caroline and Amanda have to go sell the tickets, will they be available on the Vic Juba's website?
Yes, the tickets will be available starting the end of the month. They'll be $15 per performance, or if you buy the full series, you get 2 for 1, so 1 will be free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what kind of, are you looking at for any specific styles, or?
All performing arts, so music, theater, dance, any performing arts genre.
Okay. And so, Caroline, you're kind of bluegrass. What would you say Amanda's music is? You're kind of speaking for her now.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's kind of hard to say. I'd say she's like a soulful, reflective indie. Yeah.
I'd really like to get her on yet before.
And I'm sure you
there
will.
may be an
Yeah, I
opportunity
hope so.
to do that yet.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back with more on the Lloyd Local Series in just a moment.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
At Jason Arden & Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to support the communities we live in. When you support Jason Arden and Associates Cooperators, you are supporting local nonprofits and initiatives. Since 2020, we have donated $60,000 to local nonprofits, youth sponsorships, and various special projects. When was the last time your insurance company did that?
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
Welcome back. We're at the Lloydminster exhibition and the new Lloydminster Nissan Exhibition Grill, and one of our big supporters is BioClean Disaster Services. And BioClean Disaster Services has been busy with that cold snap and repairing some busted pipes and all kinds of stuff. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't give them a call if you're looking for help with fire, flood, or disaster. BioClean Disaster Services here in Lloydminster is local. You see their name on the swimming pool, and their commitment is to taking care of your possessions, taking care of your property, but they're also very committed. In fact, I would say their biggest commitment is to you and your family, and getting your family back to where you were before the disaster as quickly as possible. And they will keep you up to date on what is happening with your property. You want to know what's going on as they are fixing this, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're a local company, and if you need them, and I sincerely hope you don't, 1-833-246-8326. That's BioClean Disaster Services here in Lloydminster. We'll get back to our conversation with Caroline Parke, who is performing with Amanda Koopa on March 27th in the Lloyd Local Series. I was going to say Lloyd Loves Local, because that was a campaign a while ago too. But we have Gwen Mottram here from the Vic Juba Theatre Foundation to talk about this series as well, which has 3 dates up to the summer, and now will continue in the fall.
We are going to continue into the fall, so that's exciting too.
That is pretty exciting. Yeah. Who decides? Do you guys?
There's a committee at the theater, so it's staff at the theater that decide, and they look at what the performance is going to entail, and whether they can do it efficiently, and so they do look at what you guys are submitting and make the decision that way. And they look at the local history, performing history.
So what, do you have to submit a video?
Did you submit video?
I submitted 3 YouTube links.
Okay.
So I don't think there was performances in there, but it was, music videos that I've created. So.
Would this be the biggest stage for you?
Oh,
Carol?
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I can understand why you're a little bit nervous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who goes first? You or Caroline? You or Amanda?
Amanda apparently gets to go first, so
okay.
She'll be a tough act to follow. But I'm kind of glad that I'll be. Well, I don't know. Like I kind of wish I could go first in a way, because then you just go and get it over with.
Right. That's
Yeah, I'll be in the back, kind of like biting my nails, maybe.
Yeah, I used to have a boss that always say, if you got to eat a frog, just eat it. So just get it over with.
If an artist doesn't have video, that's not an issue, but it does help the application.
Okay. So Caroline, I feel like you've been growing and growing to this. Mm-hmm. Do you not feel like it's been something that's been coming, that's been building? I mean, you've been performing weekends, you've been performing at Legions, you've been performing downtown. Yeah. You mentioned markets that you've been going to. It's something that you feel like this is something you've been building to.
I guess it is kind of the next step. Yeah, but it was surprising because I didn't know about it. Someone direct messaged me on Instagram and said, "Oh, look at this opportunity," and I was like, "Oh, that's something worth considering." And then I think a week later, I put it on my to-do list in my book, and it was I kind of didn't expect to get picked, to be honest. I don't know.
So it was a
why.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a surprising call.
Well, and it actually really fits with you because you've been a huge promoter of local talent yourself. Like you're not shy in coming on and saying, "Hey, I really like Amanda's music,
Right.
or I really like this artist." You've done a great job helping to promote other artists in the community as well. Why is that important to you?
I think that when arts thrive, we all thrive. The arts have saved me more than once. Like when life is on a hard path, it's been pivotal for me. And so when I see other people that are also possibly sensitive to, you know, the flow of life, the arts, it's just huge to have that to fall back on, to express yourself and to feel heard. And like it helped me a lot through a trauma that I had. Like I wasn't actually, I wouldn't classify myself as a songwriter until I survived this rural attack in 2019. And then, you know, you have like this brain trauma where you're trying to process information. How did this happen? Why did it happen? And trying to parent your kids. And for some reason, writing songs and telling stories is very therapeutic. And so I was talking to a talk therapist at the time, and she said, what you're doing is better than talk therapy, writing songs. And she said, if it wasn't songwriting, maybe it could be ballet. But it's moving your body, expressing yourself, that is the best therapy out there. So, you know, it's a cruel world. And so I think if people have a gift, that they should utilize it whenever they can. Yeah.
One of the reasons I say you've been a local promoter of talent is I know you've held halls. You've had jamborees in halls close to where you live.
I did the one-day workshops. I did a couple of those where people could come and learn fiddle, guitar, or piano. And I hire 3 different instructors for that, and then they do an evening concert. The instructors put on a concert, and there's a family dance. Did a couple of those pre-COVID.
Yeah, you came on the show to promote, actually.
Yeah, okay.
It was kind of post-COVID, wasn't it?
I think there was one. I did one in Cold Lake.
Right.
Post-COVID,
right.
And before it was in Tullabee Lake, yeah. So.
And you have a songwriter circle that you're doing.
Yes, so I did a monthly song circle in Vermilion last year. This year I decided to move it to Lloydminster. And so it's the last Thursday of every month at Second Cup, 7 o'clock. And I do, like I have a little poster and I advertise it around town. And we've had a couple small groups before Christmas, and I'm really hopeful we'll continue that and get some momentum.
Who should go to that, and what happens at them?
Well, anybody can come. Last time we did have a couple people that didn't bring a guitar, but they're like, well, I've written a few songs, but I don't have anything to present tonight. But they're just there to observe and listen to other people's stories, right? So if you're a songwriter or you're not, if you're a storyteller, I had a high school principal who was a literature teacher. And so he came and he just shared some poems, and he said he wanted to start putting them to music and was looking to partner with somebody. So just any creative people, like if you're writing or you want to write, maybe you're not writing and you need to be inspired, because a lot of people get that writer's block. And so all it takes is like a fresh song. Oh, I just wrote this last week, and you present it and they're like, I want to do that too. So yeah, anybody can come.
Yeah. Have either of you seen the Alan Jackson documentary that's on, I think it's on Prime Video? It's about Alan and how he grew up with his music and fixing cars with his dad, and then eventually went to Nashville, and how he succeeded.
Okay, no.
It's an amazing story, because he wrote these songs that he thought were really good songs, and when he pitched them to record labels, they didn't want them, and he couldn't figure out, what was wrong with these songs. And then one record producer told him, I want more. I'm looking for more sincerity. I'm looking for lessons lived.
And less dynamic and more real.
And he was like, well, I've got these songs that I've been writing, but nobody's going to want to listen to them. Those ended up being the songs on his first album. Those were the songs that people could relate to, and those were the songs that kick-started his career, and then showed him that writing from real life experience was the way to actually go. It's a wonderful documentary, actually, because it's kind of about a guy who doesn't really believe in himself that much. Not enough to pitch his own songs, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. So I find when you're talking about that, and you're talking about people coming, and I feel like there might be some people that that's people that are more advanced than I am, but maybe it's not.
I think that as creatives, we kind of just all meet each other where we're at, and there's no. I feel like there's no competition because we're just human beings existing and kind of trying to muddle our way through life. And if your songs have hard rhymes versus soft rhymes, it's like each to their own, right?
I have no idea what that means. Do you? Gwen? Hard rhymes and soft rhymes, they're all rhymes to me. But
they're like almost rhymes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hard rhymes are almost
they're
rhymes.
like vowel rhymes, but not consonant rhymes. Anyhow,
Okay.
I don't want to get too corny.
Well, speaking
on
of
you
Alan
guys.
Jackson, I think I've heard that in a couple of his songs. It's kind of Iraq and Iran. I kind of right. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's going on with your music right now?
Lots, yeah. Like I've only written 2 songs in the last semester because I've been so busy with. I recorded in October. Actually, it goes back to last January. I was invited to a jam camp, and so I went to this bluegrass jam camp instead of a music camp where there's instruction, and you pay for the instruction and such. It's just a camp where you just go and you spend the night. Your meals are included, and there's 4 different styles of music, 4 different rooms, and you can just dive in and do your thing, right? Play with other people in circles. And so that was really cool. And
You should host one of those here.
I know. Don't think I didn't think about that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need an overnight venue, and then you need different insurance and stuff. But the ones that I've been going through is through the NBCMS, so it's the Northern Bluegrass Circle Music Society, and they held one in January. And I came home and I said to my husband, I said, honey, I can't not go to the next one. Like, I have to go. So I went in, April? And I kind of like nervously got the contact information for a couple people that I really admired. And after the camp, I went home and I thought about it, and I messaged them or called them, both of them, and said, I'm recording in October. Would you grace me with your skills? Maybe, please. And I kind of didn't think they would say yes, and they both said yes. And so I, made sure they had all the songs in advance and the lyrics and the chords and everything. And so I had a very awesome lead guitarist, Howie Bergeron out of Edmonton, came down to the studio in October down in High River. So like these people are like driving halfway across the province. It was so cool. And then Hannah Goa, she's a very good fiddle player that actually played till 6:30 in the morning. I was trying to sleep and I could hear her in the other room playing her fiddle and singing lead, singing harmony. Like she sang for 10 hours straight. And I thought, that girl is amazing. And so yeah, I invited her too, and she said, well, I don't know, maybe. Send me the package and we'll see. And yeah, they were both able to come in October to High River and record. So now I'm in the process of, I'm going to be releasing a single I think the first Friday of every month from now till June. To really slowly release this album. So I have 11 original songs on it, and then 1 cover song. I did The Sound of Music, bluegrass style, and then I put in an old bluegrass cover in with it too. So
Who do you listen to? Who do you who's your music kind of follow after?
Well, in hindsight now, I can see like the folk is very strong. Like I remember before I had kids, there's pre-family and post-family. So post-family, I listen to not very much, like just the bare bones.
And post-traumatic incident?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of fiddle music, I guess, with no words, because my kids are all learning fiddle. So I don't listen to music half as much as I used to before I had kids. So my window is very kind of shrunk a little bit. I'm not up on the latest people. I'm just discovering Gillian Welch, which I think people discovered her about 15 years ago. So.
I'm just trying to figure out when it was, how old I was before, we'd get in the car with Mom and, hey Mom, we're playing our music now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
You're up for some awards. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's the International Singer-Songwriter Association. They're based out of Georgia, and so I got 4 nominations this year. So for the whole month of April, how it works is there's 25 people that are nominated per category, and for the whole month of April, their fan base gets to support them, and then the top 10 of those go on to be actually judged by the judges. So I'll be asking for support from friends and family to vote every day, which is very annoying. But but a lot of people don't seem to mind to do it. But I really don't feel too comfortable asking people to do that. But like even one vote throughout the month is fine. But apparently you can vote every single day, and then in August they announce the winners. So.
Gwen, you can hear some excitement from Caroline as she talks about.
You can understand why she's a great choice for the first concert.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, it must make you feel good that she's so excited to be on stage.
Yeah, it does. It does, and I'm really excited to see you perform, and I'm glad you have this opportunity.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And I want to add that in my application I said I was available for either of the 3 dates, but then I said I actually don't mind going first, partly because planting season and it's busy on the farm in May and June, but partly because March 28th is my birthday, and so I thought this would be a great birthday present.
Perfect.
So, yeah, it is perfect.
The stars are aligned.
Yeah, I'm going to start my 41st year on Earth just right.
And this all came about because an anonymous donor said, hey, I'd like to...
Isn't that fantastic?
It is. And I don't want you to tell me who it is, obviously.
No.
But...
I already asked, and she said it's not to be revealed. But I was very curious, too. Is like, who came up with this awesome idea?
But I'm curious as to when they came and approached you, what their reason was.
That might reveal who it is.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
It sounds like it might have been a bit of a correction line. Like
it was, but also the donor is very supportive of local artists, and actually that's probably all I can say.
Don't you think that's what makes Lloydminster so unique? Is that someone would just step up and say, you know, I'm looking to not necessarily get my name out there, obviously not, but I want to help artists who are trying to accomplish something and get their music heard. Yeah, I think it's part of. I don't know if that happens everywhere, Gwen. Do you?
I don't believe it does.
Well, yeah, this person has been truly supportive of the arts in our community, and it didn't surprise me.
That's fantastic. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Is there anything we're forgetting that you want people to know about the local series or?
So the series goes on sale end of the month, and watch for it on the theatre website, and you can call for tickets at 780-872-7400.
And they're $15 a show, or you can buy all 3 shows for $30. So that's a great way to support all the locals.
And anything else you want to tell us about your music? Any upcoming shows or anything like that?
Just this big show.
Just a big show.
Well, actually, I did book in at a cafe in Edmonton on April 20th. If local people are going to be in Edmonton on that day, it's a Saturday, I'm going to be doing a matinee show with 2 other ladies. And I've also got a harpist that's going to open and close the show. So that's very exciting. The next Jam Camp is in March. So if you guys play guitar or mandolin or any of those kind of things, or don't play but want to, it's a great place. And it's only $215, and that's all your meals from Friday night to Sunday afternoon.
I think I asked you last time you were on the show how much you're learning with music.
It's immeasurable, because I don't feel like I'm learning anything, but then I'll play for my friend on Marco Polo, like it's a video app, and she lives down near Red Deer, and she's like, I can't believe it. So, yeah, I think it's really hard to measure.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Gwen.
Thanks for
having me.
having me.
Thank you both for being here today. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about a couple of local events that are happening, including the powwow, the Ochiwin powwow display that is at the Lloydminster Museum. And in Marwayne, they have the Marwayne Playground Association, and they're hosting a big event on February the 10th with Kelly Taylor. We'll tell you about that as well. That's tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, right here from the Lloydminster Exhibition Grill. And then on Thursday, Rosemary Falk, MP for Battleford's Lloydminster, will be joining us. Thanks for checking in with us today.